Welcome to a new video series titled The Black Roots of Phish. This series is presented by the group Phans for Racial Equity, or PHRE, whose mission is to promote racial equity and respect for difference within the Phish and greater jamband community and beyond. Part of our mission is to facilitate education and thoughtful engagement, first and foremost within the Phish community, about race and its intersection with other issues. That's what this series is all about. Educating ourselves about the rich and complex history of Black music in the United States and where Phish fits into that story. My name is Dr. Jake Cohen. I'm a musicologist who has taught American music history at colleges and conservatories all over the country, and I'm also a huge fan of the Phish from Vermont. This short episode 0 is a kind of prologue or introduction where we'll discuss some of the thinking behind making these videos and give you a preview of what to expect in the upcoming episodes. In this series, we'll be exploring some of the many ways that Phish's music and approach to music making has its roots in Black music of the United States. Phish is not unique in this regard. In fact, most of the music that you love is rooted in Black musical style and expression. So then why highlight Phish's debt to Black music? One of the best ways to fight against anti-Blackness is to start close to home. Phish is our community, and we should all strive to make our scene anti-racist. Highlighting the Black roots of Phish will not solve racism or automatically make the Phish scene a more equitable and inclusive space. Yet, by acknowledging the Black musical presence in an otherwise white band, we can begin to reveal the ways that Phish, like all American musics, has participated in a long historical cycle of appropriation, whitewashing, and homage to Black musics. When we recognize these historical facts, we become aware of the ways that both Black culture in America and anti-Black racism are central to so much that we love. We can also properly give credit and pay homage to the influences that contributed to the music that we cherish so deeply. Our current musical world is a product of many choices made by people throughout all areas of the music and performing arts industry that have hidden, downplayed, or erased the Black influence and origins of our modern musical landscape. Our hope is that this series will reveal and restore some of those roots to you, and in turn, help us understand the systemic and ever-present role of racism in American culture. Now, all of us here at PHRE are huge Phish fans, and the goal of this series is not to shame anyone or to cancel Phish. However, we do acknowledge that Phish, like all white Americans, benefited from systemic anti-Blackness within American culture. Some of it instituted hundreds of years prior to any band members being born, and some of it continuing today in the legacies of racist policies and practices. We believe that by educating ourselves about the racist history of American music, we can see how musical choices have often benefited white musicians at the expense of Black musicians. And we can work toward a future where the American debt to Black music and culture is more fully acknowledged in order to practice greater equity moving forward. Now, for those who say, why do you have to make music political? Or, what does race have to do with Phish? We answer that race and politics have always been part of American popular music from its founding in the blackface minstrelsy tradition. Music is made by people, and people who move through this world in Black, brown, female, queer, disabled, or otherwise marginalized bodies bring a set of political values to themselves and their music. The illusion that music can somehow be free of racialized or political content is a tool of white supremacy that seeks to erase the messy history of American popular music and replace it with one that is supposedly race-neutral, colorblind, and apolitical. Given all this, you might be wondering, what are some of the Black roots of Phish? In the first episode, we'll examine a theory of American culture by one of the leading scholars on Black music, and look at how it applies to the Phish song Julius, by examining the era from which Julius takes its inspiration, the mid-1950s and the so-called birth of rock and roll. In subsequent episodes, we'll look for answers to other questions surrounding the Black Roots of Phish. What is the relationship between Phish's jamming and black modes of improvisation? How did the emergence of Phish's cowfunk in 1997 relate to a genre rooted in protest and rhetoric of black empowerment? Why did certain covers of songs by black artists disappear from Phish's performing repertoire for many years, only to return later? How do Phish's barbershop quartet covers fit into the history of black vocal groups and blackface minstrelsy? And how have different black musical styles served as the foundation of some beloved Phish originals, like Bouncin' Round the Room, Fee, or The Lizards? Thank you so much for watching, and we hope you'll join us in our quest to gain the knowledge that we lack. Click on the link in the description for the playlist of all currently published episodes, and please subscribe to the free YouTube channel so that you'll know when new content gets published. The only rule is it begins.